over to Leeds, Paul. We talk a lot about their need for a new number 9. Would Cameron Archer fit the bill if Leeds do get promoted to the Premier League as a number 9 for them next season?
Not for me. I think Southampton overpaid for him. You look 24 appearances this season with 2 league goals. That's not clinical. Not getting an opportunity. Granted, Southampton are poor this year. They've been extremely poor. Not scored enough goals, not won enough games, and you're struggling in any position in a team that is struggling and losing the way that Southampton are. They've not really been in any games for him to score this season. But you look at him, the recent record: Villa, Middlesbrough, Sheffield United, and Southampton paid what they did. I mean, for Leeds going up into the Premier League next year, we spoke about a link before with Tammy Abraham, and now that link would be a lot more exciting than Cameron Archer. I think Abraham's out of contract, isn't he? He's on loan at the moment. Goes back to his parent club, out of contract this summer. So a link to somebody like him who can lead the line, players an out-and-out striker, players an out-and-out number 9, gets you the goals, proven, in Serie A, proven in the Premier League, and he's a player that understands the league and has obviously done well previously in it. For me, Cameron Archer is a good player, he's a good all-round player. He's still only 23. I think if you're buying him, you're buying another one as well. You're not buying it, you're buying him and relying on him to get you the goals that you want. If you bring in an Abraham and a Cameron Archer together, those type of 2 players together, then all of a sudden, yeah, but not as an individual signing for me. And as said as well, the goalkeeper's a position that they need to look at as well. With Illan Meslier, you don't replace him, you buy somebody to number 1. Illan Meslier is a top goalkeeper. I think for his age, he's got all the attributes, and there's been a lot of top clubs that have looked at him, but he has got a mistake in him, and I think they don't need a number 1 stroke 2. They need another number 1 who starts on a level peg with him pre-season next year, and they'll push each other all the way. I mean, we spoke about Nick Pope's future at Newcastle. If he was available, 100% go and get Nick Pope. But for me, the big one that Leeds should look at is Aaron Ramsdale. If Leeds are in the Premier League next year, monitor the Aaron Ramsdale situation, because you've got to admire his attitude, the way that he's been to Southampton. I think he's played for a lot of this season when he's been injured, and he's played in a team that struggled. He's not wanted to be part of a Premier League title challenge. He's not wanted to be part of a Champions League squad. He's not wanted to be a cup goalkeeper. He's gone to Southampton. He's wanted to play week in and week out. And I think he's a top-class goalkeeper, and I think he would be a huge addition for Leeds as well. I know we're going off track talking about strikers as well, but those are the 2 key positions for me for Leeds next year. Not necessarily to replace Meslier. Let's not forget how young Meslier is. I mean, he's still a young goalkeeper in terms of experience-wise. So somebody to go alongside him, but a recruitment of a Ramsdale or a Pope. Ramsdale for me would be the one, because that's the more realistic opportunity that you could buy Aaron Ramsdale, along the lines of Cameron Archer and Tammy Abraham. We've seen the Premier League this season. We've seen you look at the bottom 3 now. Southampton, one of the worst that the Premier League's ever seen. Leicester heading that way as well. And Ipswich, they're the only ones that seem to have any kind of fight to potentially stay in there. You can see the gap and how hard it is to stay in the Premier League. But those 4 players that I've mentioned, they're Premier League proven players, they're top players, and they make Leeds United better.
Pete, another number 9 who's been linked with Leeds this coming summer is Josh Sargent, who has definitely had his struggles in the Premier League in the past, but has been red hot for Norwich over the past 2 seasons. Do you think he'd fit with Leeds if they get promoted, or you have those same worries that he can't quite do it in the Premier League?
Yeah, I would have my reservations of him being Premier League proven. As you said, he struggled during his previous time in England's top flight. I think he only got 2 goals in 26 appearances for Norwich.
He's at his level, and he's a top Championship striker. Yep. There's some players that find the ceiling, and for me, I think that's his level.
Agreed.
Yeah, totally agree with that one. I think he's a top Championship player. I think Norwich will really struggle to hold on to him if they don't win promotion themselves or reach the playoffs at least. There will be a lot of clubs looking at him. Obviously, this link with Leeds, there has been a long-term interest, probably because of Daniel Farke, who's worked with him before. He signed him when he was in charge of Norwich, so obviously there's a long-standing sort of association between the pair, and obviously Daniel Farke is an admirer of the player. But I think if Leeds do end up winning promotion to the Premier League, which is looking more and more likely, I think they need to go out and spend big on a top striker, somebody who's proven goal scorer, because Joel Pirro is their top scorer this season with 15 goals, but I don't think he would be the answer in the Premier League myself either, and he's probably better as a number 10 rather than a number 9. So Josh Sargent does have a lot of attributes, but I don't think he would probably be able to step up and be the man to score goals on a regular basis for Leeds in the Premier League. So I think for me, it's probably one that Leeds have probably moved on from. I think he would have been a good signing for them in the Championship, but if Leeds are planning to make a real fist of it in the Premier League next season, I think they'll be looking at better players myself.
And Paul, Leeds are also linked with Nicholas Kuhn after his incredible run of form for Celtic this season, capped off by that excellent goal away to Bayern Munich in the Champions League. He's not really a true number 9, but is he the kind of talent that you think Leeds still might try and bring in?
I don't think they need him. You look at he's a wide player and he's a right winger as such. You look at the players that they've got in those areas. To be fair, maybe that was a bit harsh saying they don't need him, because then you look at Manor Solomon. If they can get Manor Solomon in, then they've got enough in those areas. You've got Willian Yonto, you've got Dan James, you've got Manor Solomon, Ramazani. You've got quality in those areas. Would Nicholas Kuhn come into the Leeds side now? Would he start now, would be the question I'd ask. And at the moment he wouldn't. I mean, squad-wise, depending on what you're left with next year, for me, Dan James is a better player than him. He has more of an impact than him. Willian Yonto, the same. Piro's played out wide as well. I think the players that Leeds have got at their disposal, if they can sign Manor Solomon, if it was a straight shootout between signing Manor Solomon and Nicholas Kuhn, I'm taking Manor Solomon all day long. That's not that I don't think Nicholas Kuhn's a good player, because he is a top player and he's proved that he can do it in the Champions League. And I think actually what they would have to pay, I mean, what did Celtic pay for Rapid Vienna? I think it was about 3 million that Celtic paid for him. So there wouldn't be a huge transfer fee involved, but I don't think Leeds got to be careful not to be an unbalanced squad. They've got a lot of players in similar areas at the moment. For the Championship, it's a balanced enough squad. For me, they don't have enough defensive midfield cover, the way he wants to play. The lower 2/3 of the pitch are where they don't have enough cover. The wide areas is probably where they're oversubscribed. And number 9 and at the back is where they probably need the strength in depth. Listen, Kuhn, yes, top player, good addition to the squad. Does he make the starting 11? No. Is he needed at the moment? Not unless they sign Manor Solomon.